Hey there, Pisces. Thanks for tuning in today to my channel. Today I'm going to give you a reading, and the intention I've set for this reading is that it illuminates the energies surrounding you and give you the weapon of choice to defeat it. So let's take a look at what potential conflict, challenges, or something similar, warfare is going on around you, and advice to handle it. All right, hot out the gate, Ace of Swords. What about it? What about the Ace of Swords? Ace of Swords and Six of Wands. All right, so the energy that's happening, okay, so I'm getting two things. The first thing might be that you are coming out victorious because you were in a battle that you didn't even know you were participating in. It was like you were the image in other people's minds, where they were projecting upon you all the things about themselves they have not integrated, accepted, or learned how to love within them. And so you became like this external demon, devil, evildoer, wrong person. You were the enemy. They made you an enemy, but because you didn't engage with it, and they were trapped in their head, you had no idea that this battle was going on, and this looks like a winning energy to me. So that's one way I'm reading it. The other thing that comes to mind, if I can remember it right now, is that you are a metaphysical conduit. You are one of God's soldiers. And so long as you stay in your I see everything with my eyes closed energy, i.e. following your intuition, following the joy of the soul. That's not happiness. Joy, not happiness. So long as you're following the joy of the soul, you do not have anything to plan, strategize, or worry about, because this stuff is being handled on a different plane, in another dimension. This is being handled, and your job is to keep your eyes closed and to continue to take aligned action on your divine inspirations. Okay, so shit then. There's a lightheartedness with all of this. Even the woman here on this card, she is joyous in like the happy sense. But she's like, people who truly, truly believe that everything is working out for them in every instance, every moment of life. Those people who really, honestly, faithfully live by faith. That's what this is, living by faith. Living by faith, living by asking once and never again. Because it doesn't matter if the thing you are asking for happens in 1 hour, 1 week, 1 year, 100 years. It doesn't matter. You know that will be fulfilled, even if not in your generation, for generations to come. There are families on this planet that take generational wealth seriously, meaning that when they are thinking about setting up their family for the rest of existence on Earth, they are playing the long game. I know that they were basically indentured servants, but let me just use this example. It took 10 generations to build the Great Wall of China. It took 10 generations. Father, son, son becomes father, son, son becomes father, son, son becomes father, son. 10 generations to complete the build of the Wall of China. When that project was initiated, it was initiated with the understanding that it takes the time it takes, that we are playing the long game if we are going to accomplish this. There is something here about fully embodying the idea that it will take generations. Even if we're just looking at like political movements, do you think in America women got the right to vote because of what happened in one generation? No. No, it was a snowball effect that had started hundreds of years prior with people, just having conversations, right? They're just sitting around the kitchen table, churning butter. We got some women churning butter in the kitchen, prepping dinner, baking bread, what the fuck ever. Just having casual conversations, laying in bed or, on their haystack at night, just talking to their husbands, saying things like, I think it would be interesting if we voted this way. Right? There was, part of it was strategy and part of it was people simply speaking what was on their heart to make this change happen. If there's, so the question initially was like the energy surrounding you. You are very protected right now, and the energies that are surrounding you are ushering you to expand your timeline. I know it's popular, and in one way it's true that time doesn't exist. It's popular for people to say like time doesn't exist, and it kind of like throws the pressure off. But another truth is that time does exist, whether it's by the clock or not. There is a passing. Something is passing through the matrix of space. There's no denying it. Einstein proved it, that there's a space-time reality, and that it's through, the X and the Y axis. You are moving through space, and to move through space requires you to move through this thing we call time. Expand your idea of how much time it takes. There's no room here for instant gratification. There's no room here for playing the short game. You're playing the long game right now. You're playing the long game. And I really don't know what that means for you. I don't know if it means like whatever idea you have, whatever you've asked God for, whatever you're building, that it's going to take, 8 generations to do it. And this doesn't have to be your family. It could just be 8 generations of kind of like the energy that teenagers and young adults bring, where they're like, we're going to change the world, and then they have new ideas, and they don't really come into the mainstream until these young people have money and they're like in their 40s. But it could be something like that, like we're just looking at a cultural shift. Or it could be very specifically just your family line. What am I asking? I don't know what I'm pulling the next card for. I guess we'll just see what's popping. 2 of Cups and Justice. There's 2 cups on both of these, like 4 cups. 1, 2, 3, 4. Whatever war is being fought, and I suspect you don't even know what it is, whatever war is being fought, it is in your favor. It is supported through your past reflection and your forward reflection. What does that mean, your forward reflection? It's being supported through the image you are projecting out into the world right now as to who you are. So there might have been a shift recently about how you view yourself, how you show up in the world. This could be like literally like how you dress, what you look like, your hair, your makeup, a piercing, a tattoo, the types of clothes you wear. There might have been a shift there. Or it's like in the way you interact with people, or the things you talk about, or how you talk about them. There's a shift there. Your forward projection and your back projection, that has to do with your historical projection, has to do with how you're viewing your past. Because history is made in the present moment. All right. I know I just said all that. Okay, so time does exist, and there are things that happened in the past which may still be happening in another dimension. There's also the very spiritual truth that the past, your personal history, is created in the present moment. The events that have already occurred are stored in your tissues, in your body, in your memory. And if you are experiencing a past event, and it's not externalized in the immediate moment in the environment you're in your head thinking about it, that thought you're having about it is happening now. And humans are gung-ho to remember things correctly, or at least to convince themselves that they remember things correctly. And sometimes that's useful, and sometimes it's not useful. Sometimes it is productive, sometimes it's not productive. You have the ability at any given moment, with any memory, any past experience that you are thinking about, to change the way you're thinking about it or why you're thinking about it. You can literally rewrite what happened. You know that saying where they say, like, there's my side, there's your side, and then there's the truth? I see a call here to not be so convinced that the way you remember an event happening is the way it happened. Because chances are your remembering of it is either placing you, it's inflating you, like you're too much of a hero, or you're just beating yourself up and you're in too much like regret, too much beating yourself up about whatever has occurred. And there isn't enough grace, and there isn't enough objectivity. Because, you know, even if you did something shitty, wrong, you made a mistake, you got fired because you deserve to be fired, you know, you, whatever. Even if you made the mistake, you can make a whole list as to the rationale around why you made that decision in that moment. And really do it in a judicious manner, right? If you were putting yourself on trial, the presumption is that you're innocent. So if you're berating yourself mentally, presume you were innocent. All right, just for a second, presume your innocence. Presume your innocence. This reading is really going left field here. This Two of Cups, the reunion, this is making friends with your mind. Specifically, this is about memory. This is making friends with your memory. Spinning, cycling, going through events so that you can continue despising, hating, being triggered by whoever's triggering you. There's another way to think about it that'll put you into a fuller expression of truth. Not the truth, but truth, personal truth. Because at the end of the day, let me pull another card. There's no end of we're not going to the end of the day yet. We are not going to the end of the day yet. Oh boy. What do we got here? Bring it on, boys. What do we got here? Knight of Cups, Judgment, Four of Wands. Fast moving, fast moving, fast moving, leading to some type of fulfillment because you have heeded the call. You got a second chance. Let me go back to the intent for this reading because I think I'm like really getting off base here. To illuminate the energy surrounding Pisces and give them the weapon of choice to defeat it. The weapon of choice is your mind. You have to, okay, so the greater external spiritual battle that's happening, that's being taken care of. And as long as you keep following your intuition, you're going to take care of it. Like, this is like present moment, like floating through your day, you know? Oh, you know what? I think I'm going to grab lunch with so-and-so because you're inspired to and you were invited to it. Or it's like, you know, maybe you have like 5 projects that have similar deadlines at work and you're just following your creative flow on, you know, which I'm going to work on this one for, you know, 3 hours, then I'm going to work on this. There's a fluidity to it that's being guided through your intuitive or higher self. There's like emergence of your body and your soul moving. This is all green, moving through the heart space. That lightheartedness, that's being taken care of. The weapon of choice, what I see the advice being for you at this time is to something about memory. There's something about memory that you need, that you are advised to reconsider. It could also be a specific memory. You know, as a fellow Pisces, and I'm saying this with so much love, as a fellow Pisces, I can attest to the fact that daydreaming, fantasizing, and revisiting things of the past is a favorite pastime of many Pisces. And that might be slowing you down a little bit because it is somehow you're using it incorrectly. It's like I heard someone say this once, and if I could remember who it was, I would attribute it to them. But they said something to the effect of, it's okay to look at the past, but don't stare at it. Right? That's rude as hell to stare. Don't stare at it. When you're looking at the past, look at it with intention. What are you there for? Right? What are you going back there for? Are you looking for more details to help you in the present moment? Are you just simply recalling what information was given to you because you need to use it now? Like, you know, what did my manager tell me that I needed to focus on for this project? And you're like, boop, boop, boop. Oh yeah. And you know, oh, he was wearing a green shirt and he told me this and it seemed like this was really important. So let me take this information there, right? The green shirt doesn't matter, but whatever. But instead, you might be using it for things like, oh, what if I was misunderstood? What if they thought I meant this and I offended them? What if, you know, that guy was the love of my life and I didn't give him my phone number, right? And you're revisiting like these small little encounters with strangers or those that you know. Stop with this what ifing. Just stop with the what ifing. Like even the what ifing, like, is this really what I'm supposed to be doing? Stop it. Stop it. Stop that. Stop all that. Stop all that. All right, I'm going to grab one more word and then I'm going to grab an oracle card. All right, this is for judgment, gratitude. Yeah, I'll put it there. You have been given a second chance. For those of you who are really, like if you had a near-death experience, or if you made a mistake that completely towered out your life. It just flattened you. Or just, a run of bad luck and your whole life was just set back. Like you were set to rock bottom. You were at rock bottom. Something about whatever was stripped from you, taken away from you, has cultivated a deep, visceral gratitude. This is beyond practicing gratitude. This is not like, oh, every day I wake up and I write 10 things that I'm grateful for. I'm grateful for my cat. I'm grateful for the heat in my house. I'm grateful that there's gasoline in my car. I'm grateful that my bills are paid. I'm grateful that there's food in my kitchen. It's not just like I'm in such a funk. I need to just force myself to look at stuff that I'm grateful for. No, this has made a permanent change inside of you, a permanent change because you've been given a second chance at life. You've been given a second chance at life, and now your gratitude emanates from you. It is in your aura. You sweat it. It's you wake up and it's like, damn, I'm fucking awake. I have another day. Don't waste that day with misusing memory. Find a better purpose for memory and find a better intention for looking at the past. We wouldn't be given the ability to look at the past if there wasn't something useful to do with that. So just be a little bit more mindful when you're looking at it. Don't live back there. Wow, okay, so I'm not even going to shuffle because this baby just slowly fell out. Advice, the forgotten, missed opportunities, fear of failure. This is big UFO vibes, but instead of the UFO being here, like taking up the human, it's reverse, like this portal sucking you back. The forgotten. The advice here is that forgetfulness is a blessing. Because when you forget something, you also forget the limitations that lesson has taught you. And there's something here about something blocked your memory of maybe, I'm just going to assume it was bad, like some type of trauma. And that is a blessing because it can't limit you because you don't have these false limitations that could be associated with it. So if you just have this like nagging idea that you are that there's something wrong with you, there's nothing fucking wrong with you. Don't dig through it. You don't have to do past life regression. You don't have to like get hypnotized. You don't have to go looking for shit that's not here. You only need to go looking for it if something is amiss in your current world and you're trying to improve your life right here, right now. You don't have to go, you don't have to look in every cave you walk past. Don't look in every cave you walk past. Why? Because sometimes there's jaguars in there and they're not friendly. Sometimes there's bears in there and they're not friendly. All right? You don't have to. You can, you have free will, whatever, but you don't have to. This could also be speaking about a fear that people are going to forget something. If you lost something that was irreplaceable, absolutely precious, and you'll never get it back, it can never be replaced. I'm thinking, somebody passed away and no one asks you about that person or maybe, or pet, maybe it's a pet. And you're afraid that, the impact that this person had on your life or this pet had on your life isn't going to be shared with others. You're probably right. You probably will be walking that unique grief path alone. And that person or that pet or that irreplaceable thing that is forever gone, you're right. That's going to be your unique grief. And as somebody who's had my fair share of grief, I recall right now that people do not grieve the loss of the person, the pet, the thing. You're grieving your personal relationship with it. So when other people are grieving, they're just grieving their relationship with it. And if they didn't have the depth of relationship that you had with that person, pet, or object, that's okay. It's okay. It is what it is. And it's going to happen again. And that person too is going to lose somebody, a pet, or an object, and other people are not going to share in that grief. Grief is a unique, personal path. And maybe that's what this memory is that you're living in. Some type of grief, some type of loss. And the advice here, what is the advice here? That was the advice. The advice here. One piece of advice related to grief, and then I need to close this because I am one of those happily employed 9-to-5 type people. Okay. I need to get to work. Okay. A piece of advice regarding grief, please. And then I'm going to end it. And we have nothing. Advice regarding grief, one card. Rapture, sensuality, love, devotion, romance, ecstasy, and pleasure. Judgment, this is judgment, the rapture. I'm just gonna give a social, I guess, platitude where people say that grief is evidence of the intensity of love. Grief will take you away, will strip you away from everybody in your life and completely seclude you. And it's in that grief process that you can tap into deeper levels. I don't want to say deeper levels. You can tap into an intensity of gratitude, an intensity of joy, an intensity of ecstasy that you would not have had otherwise without this tremendous loss. You belong to God now. You know, in the rapture and Revelation, like God comes and like he has his, the 144, he has his chosen ones and he sort of just like zooms them up to the sky before he casts hellfire everywhere. It's like you've been called and zoomed to the sky. You've been taken in the rapture, metaphorically. And now you walk the world in divine joy as a soldier of the Most High, fighting a fight and being completely blind to it. Like your presence irritates devils, demons, principalities, just your presence. And it like your sheer existence triggers people. Like you still standing after whatever was wiped out when you hit bedrock, when you hit rock bottom, you still standing just irritates the fuck out of these devils, demons, and principalities that are working through people. You still standing. You're getting justice. Be wise with how you use your mind and continue to focus on your call from the higher self in every given moment. You are in the middle of a battle that started long before you, generations before you, and is going to continue generations after you. And all you're going to do right now is your part. God has already taken you. You heeded the call, and now you're part of the justice occurring right now on this planet during this time. Wow. Okay. That is what I have for you. I hope that something in here was resonant and beneficial, and may you carry it well. Blessed be.